2nd of June, Rabbi Levitt, Gemorah.
Okay. Yeah, see, right after the words of Amre, Lama Maxirin, let's say Sidei Shomayim, then the Gemara brings another Toshma, Haroim. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines from the bottom of the page, of the Gemara page.
Then after the question mark, the more answers, Amrei, they said, Macha Zirin Ba'ain, Macha Makabalim Mayhem. Here too, is that the one? Here too, the meaning is that they return what they have stolen, but the victims do not accept it from them. The Gemara asks, one more Macha Zirin, but if we do not accept it from them, then why do they return it? The Gemara answers, La'es Yudi Shemayim, to discharge our obligation to heaven. The Gemara asks further, E Vochi Emai to Shuva Son Korshe, but if so, why is their repentance difficult? Page 94 before. But and furthermore, a more safe for, consider the latter part of this brisa, which states that she'ain may we read aseh bohen sorchei tzibur, and monies that they stole from those whom they cannot identify as the victims shall be used for public needs. But Omar Rav Chasta and Rav Chista said, Boris Shihin Umoros, that is, they should spend the money to construct cisterns, trenches, and vaults as water reservoirs. Evidently, the brisa means to say they must actually return the stolen money. Gemorah concedes that its previous resolution was incorrect and offers another resolution. Elelo Kashor, rather, there is no difficulty for the following reason. Korn Koded Takonoa, here in this price you just cited, which states that the robber must actually repay, refers to the law before the enactment made in the times of Rebbe. Korn lechar takonon, whereas here in the first price cited above, which states that one is not to accept what robbers and lenders on interest return, refers to law after the enactment made in the times of Rebbe.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at the so the next Rashis that we have really are from that brisa that we didn't read this brisa. So before, 1 second, before we go to this brisa, I want to just speak out so that we make sure that we're understanding over here what the Gemorah is saying over here. So the Gemorah said in this Amrei, when it was answering the contradiction between the two brises, one brisa says Makzirin, and the other brisa says Ein Makablin Mihem. So Gemorah thought that was that was a stira. How could it be that we require the Goslin to return it, and but because we say to the person that was stolen from, don't receive it from him. So Gemorah says, no, that's exactly, they go together perfectly. They fit like a glove. Each brisa is talking about the obligation of the other person. One brisa is talking about the obligation of the Goslin. His to, if he wants to do tshuva, he's got to make an effort to return the object to the person that he stole it from. That's why it says machzirin. So that's his obligation. That's what he's supposed to do. And the other brisa says that it's talking not to the Goslin, it's talking to the victim, we'll call him, that was stolen from. It says about him, ein mekablin him. And so when the Goslin makes the offer to return it, and he says, here's the thing. So the as it says in the brisa we just got through reading, the brisa that we learned before says ein mekablim, that the victim is supposed to say, no, I don't accept it from you. So then the Gemara asks, Lama machzirin? Why does if he's not going to accept it, so what's the point in the Goslin attempting to return it? The Gemara says, let's say sidei shemayim. That's his obligation. Let's say sidei shemayim. So now, let me ask you a question. Let's say sidei shemayim. You know what that means? That means to fulfill the obligation, not here that the Bezdin down here would be able to impose upon the Goslin, but the obligation that the Bezdin Shomala would impose upon him. So that would seem to be a bit difficult to understand, because we know that the pasuk says, that the Goslin is supposed to return what he stole. That's the Torah's command, and presumably that would be what the Bezdin would down here, at least. That's what they would require the Goslin to do. And so over here, the Gemorah seems to be saying, oh, the only reason why he has to attempt to return it is, let's say, sidei shemayim, to fulfill his obligation that the Bezdin Shalmala would require upon him. It seems to be why is it only, let's say, sidei shemayim? There's no Rashi here to. No Rashi. Oh, there's a Tosas over here. Oh, maybe Tosas is talking about this. Oh, we have to realize that we're talking here about ribis. Talking about the way that we've explained, the Bryce is talking about ribis. The Goslin with the fountain pen. And it's a Tosas, this a bottom Tosas over here. Bottom Tosas on the page. Let's say sidei shemayim. Tosas says v'perek ezu neshech. That's the Gemorah Bava Mitzi that talks all about ribis. Lo have motzei l'shnuyei hachi. We would not have needed to answer this answer that we're saying over here, in the Gemorah, let's say Sidei Shemaim, Laman Da'omar Ribis Ketzutza Eino Yotze V'Dayonim. According to, there's an opinion over there, I guess, in the Gemorah in Bava that says that Ribis Ketzutza means that they've written a contract that provides in that contract for the payment of ribis, to pay back the loan with ribis. So according to the opinion over there that says ribis ketzutza ein yotze b'dayonim, the dayonim are not empowered to extract the ill-gotten profit of ribis in the as per the contract. Dili didei afilu tzesidei shemaim lo machayev. That according to them, even to fulfill his obligation of the Bezdin Shomala, there is no chiyuv for him to do this. Kedaparishis, as is explained over there in the Gemorah, I guess. This is a Gemorah in Bava Metzia Samach Beis Amid Beis. The Sugya Dehacha, but our Gemorah over here, says Tosas, which says that he does need to make this offer to the borrower to return the ribis money that he paid him, at least to, let's say, Sidei Shemayim, to fulfill his Bezdin Shomala obligation. Commando Omar ribis yotze b'dayonim. That really the Bezdin, when it says dayonim over here, it means the dayonim in this world. That the Bezdin here would really, according to Torah law, be empowered to hear a case and rule and extract the ribis from the lender and give it back to the borrower. Ella, but so then what? So then what's the deal then? Why are we saying over here that it's, let's say, Sidei Shemaim only? Explains Tosas. Ella the tekinu the ein makablim. That's just the point. The point is that we have a D'Rabbanan decree that the borrower is supposed to say he doesn't accept this the ribis money that's being given back to him. V'lo shaykh lishnuyei hacha. And so therefore, v'lo shaykh lishnuyei hacha tanoihi, and we couldn't have answered over here in the Gemorah, oh, well, this is a subject of a Tanaic dispute. Like we did, in fact, say over there in the Gemorah Bava Metzia. Dahanu tanoi, dahasam katu. What's he mean over here? That the Tanoim, the Hanu Tanoi, the Hasam, that those Tanoim over there were before. Were before. Okay, but in any case, I'm getting the picture over here that Tosas is presenting. That he's really he's non-wittingly answering the question that we asked. We wanted to know, why is it that it's only, let's say, Sidei Shemaim, that he's making this offer of giving back the ribis? We would have thought that he's required to give back the ribis Maker Adin. That's his bottom line, baseline Torah mandated obligation that the Beis Din down here would be able to they're empowered to execute. And the answer that Tosas is giving is yes. In fact, that's true. Except that was before there was this takana that it says in the brisa. That now this brisa is telling us that the loiva has a rabbinic obligation to refuse the ribbis. And so Gemorah is asking, so why is he giving it back? So the Gemorah answers, the reason he's giving it back is because he wants that the bet when he gets upstairs after 120 years, the best is not going to say, so how come you didn't give back that ribbis that you charged that guy? He's going to say, but the Beis Din downstairs, they said that he's not supposed to accept the money from me. So I figured, why should I bother to give it? So they'll tell him, sorry, you thought too much. You should have made an effort to return it. But at that point, that's why we call it that it's only a let's say Sidei Shemayim. Okay. Very good. Now we want to read again this brisa of the next brisa over here. The Gemorah is gonna throw another monkey wrench over here. This is a third brisa. It would seem, unless it's connected to the other two. We'll see. Toshma haroim v'hagaboim. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines from the bottom of the page.
94B3, right-hand column, fourth paragraph down.
Okay, so Lou, you want to read for us, please?
Tashma, come and learn. Ha-ro'in v'ha-gabayim in v'ha-mochsin, shepherds, tax collectors, and customs collectors, to shu vasan kasha. Their repentance is difficult. Uma chazirin le makirin. And they return to those who can identify.
Makirin. Makirin man.
The English says those who can identify as their victims. Thus we see that they must return what they have stolen.
Makirin le makirin.
So in other words, this is a stira, because this one says they have to return, and the other two said they don't return.
So here is a kasha, right? Based, this seems to contradict what we said above. So in other words, we have basically what the kasha is that right? We have a second brisa, which is dealing with, which is telling us the same thing. It's telling us exactly the same thing as we interpreted the brisa with the lender that was charging ribbis. It says the lender who charges ribbis, even though he collected the ribbis already, he should nevertheless return it. And so here too, you may not know it, but these three individuals that the Brisa is mentioning over here, the shepherds and the Gaboyin, the attendants of the king, the Muchasin, the collectors of taxes, all of these three people, their tshuva is kasher. They have a difficult time doing tshuva. What do you mean they have a difficult time? Why is their tshuva? Why is their tshuva difficult? And what is it that they did that requires tshuva over here? Before we get to the fact that we say that their tshuva is difficult, what exactly did these three groups of people do, which requires them to do tshuva? So for that we need to read Rashi. Haroim. Bill.
I have to unmute to do this. The rowings, which are the shepherds. The shepherds, Gazlani, they're robbers. L'ra'ot behemoth, that they shepherd animals, sadot acherim, in other people's fields. So they're actually going. They're using other people's field to shepherd to graze their animals. So that's like a robber, because they're using the grain of the other guy's field.
Right. So they need to do tshuva. Okay. And so that takes care of the first group. We understand why they need to do tshuva. What about the Gaboim? What about the attendants of the king? Why do they need to do tshuva? Next, Rashi.
Supposedly these are the tax collectors, the Gabayan, the guys who collect money for the king. The collectors shall no for the kings. The Gabo Kesef, to collect the money, Kesef, Gulgalat, which is like a head tax. Each person has to pay a certain tax. The Arnona, we've heard about that before. And Shikli Tafe. Now that's something for the young people. The value of a young person.
Shakle Tfei.
Shakle is a.
Shakle, they take
more.
They take more. They're supposed to take 100, and they take 1,000. Supposed to take 2,000, and they take 10,000. So these guys are Gazlonim. So that's why they got to do tshuva. And what about the mochasim? The ones that do the meches? Rashi didn't tell us about them. I guess he figures that we got the idea by now. No one has to be told why the mochasim need to do tshuva, the tax collectors.
No, same level. It's a different type of collectors. Meches is a different type of tax. One's the poll tax, and one is the tax when you bring in the goods. What each individual.
Oh, is that what they say there?
No, the art scroll uses the word customs. That's what meches is. Meches is when you go through the airport. You have the green line and the red line. The person who's supposed to pay the meches is the person who's supposed to go to the red line and pay his duties is on the purchases he brought in, as opposed to the regular gabbai who comes to collect the regular income tax that the guy pays, and things like that. One is on the item, and one is on the person, and the Arnon is on the real estate. So the different types of taxes, and there's nothing certain except for death and taxes.
Okay, they'll get there. So these people only. So now we need to know, why is their tshuva kashet? Why is it hard for them to do tshuva? Why is it hard? That the Gemorah makes it sound that it's harder for them to do tshuva than other people. Why is that so? What about them makes tshuva so hard? Next Rashi.
And the tshuva is kasha. It's hard to do tshuva. Shegazlu harabim. There are many thefts. The ein yodim l'mi shechzer. They stole from so many different people that they don't have to know who to give the money back to, who to return it to.
So they don't know, and they have to do right. The tshuva involves giving back the stolen article to the person that he stole it from. So so therefore they have no idea how much to give back to this one, how much to give back to that one. So they don't know. So tshuva, so they can't do tshuva like that. So what do we say? Machzirin l'makirin. Last Rashi.
They machzirin l'makirin. They have to give it back to the purchasers. And the one who bought it, l'mi shemicher shelo shegozlo, the one who that sold it to them, that they stole it from them. Makir. Well, known as Makir is from instead of Machir, it's Makir. It's like it's know who they are. They return it to the ones who they can connect, who they know who it is. If they can identify, then they have to give it back to them.
Mi shemakire shehakzela shegozlu shelo. There's different ways of interpreting this Rashi. There's different emendations to the Rashi. I have one emendation over here that says that you have to add a few words to the Rashi. Lefi shemakirim, lemi shemakirim, shehagzela shegozluhu shelo. To the one who recognizes and is able to identify that this stolen article is that which was stolen from him. So it's not. It sounds like it's talking about the victims. They are the ones that he returns these people. They return the stolen monies to the ones who are able to recognize that this stolen amount is what was stolen from them. Okay, in any case, so we have the question. We see another time that a Goslin is supposed to do returning. So over here we got another time a brisa which contradicts the original brisa that says that the what's it call it the victim is supposed to refuse. So if so, then doesn't that sound like the guy is not supposed to return? So on that we have the same answer over another time, a second time. Okay, Roy, you want to read the second answer again?
Amorai, they said.
Yeah.
Machazirin, Ba'ain, Makabalin, Here too, the meaning is that they return what they have stolen, but the victims do not accept it from them. So the Gemara asks, "Ta'ala lama macharim." But if we do not accept it from them, then why do they return it? Gemara answers, the first Yidei Shamayim, to discharge their obligation to heaven. But the Gemara asks further, I achove amai teshuvah son kasher. But if so, why is the repentance so difficult? The odd, and furthermore, Amos Sifa, consider the latter part of this parasha, states Vashay Machirin Yashe Vahin Derachei Sevur. And manage that they stole from those who they cannot identify. They cannot identify as their victim, shall be used for public needs. Wama Rav Fitzwick, he said, Baros Shishim Umaarim, they should spend the money to construct cisterns, trenches, vaults as water reservoirs. So evidently the Brisa means to say, the scroll, that they must actually return the stolen money.
So therefore, so
He's
you
got to
see,
pay back
you
money no
have
matter
to-
what, even if he can't find the people. So that's, okay, uses it on public works. So it goes into the general coffers, and then that's what they use it for. So they do have to return the money. So that seems to be a problem. What do you mean they have to return the money? I thought they thought they would out of having to return the money. So that's why we need an answer to that. And that's what the Gemara continues for another couple of lines.
Okay. Oh, that's what Alan read over here. Lokasha kan kodem takana kan la'acha takana.
Right. So when the takanas means takana, when the rabbis made the rabbanan made that takanas hashavim, saying, "Oh, you can get off the hook by doing tshuva by just paying it back." That was the time. So was that before or after that point? When they made the takana, they made it easier for them to pay back. Before the takana, they didn't make it easier for them to take back. That affects the answers.
Well, okay. I see it's okay, we have a Rashi on that too. Okay. Kodem takana.
The Rashi before that is the Borok, Shichim, and Ma'orok, the water bores, the Shichim, which is like a trench, and the Ma'orok's the caves or caverns. L'hachnis behem, to add them water, to add water. Lishtot, to drink, drinking water. The Havi Davar Hatzrich L'kol, that's something that everybody would need. V'hainu mehem, from these, the Gazlim, and these including the Gazlans, Alma, we see a hodore by that they need to return it. They need to do. They have to give it back.
So we see from this brisa they do need to make a to return.
They have to return something. And then the question is, when did this was happening? And then they said the brisa one talked about before Kodem Takana, before this Takana. Shimei Rabbi, the days of Rabbi, Nashnit Mishnah, who taught this Mishnah, the Mechayev Mahader, that he is Chayev to give it back.
So in other words, the Gemorah is saying that these two brises that said that the Goslin has to return, those two were before we made a takana. Before we made the takana to that the victim should refuse it, should not accept it. Bekan la'achat takana. But this brisa, that meaning the brisa that says ein makablim, that was after we made the takana. It said don't take it back. So that's the only way that we can answer up these brises. Otherwise, the Gemorah says that they don't fit. Okay, we'll see tomorrow, or not tomorrow. We'll see on Yom Rishon. Oh no, Yom Rishon is Shavuos.
Right, so
Yom
See
Sheni.
when we see.
Yom Sheni, okay, I'm not gonna, Yom Sheni, I'm not gonna be here because that's Isru Chag, and I'm gonna be with the grandkids, have to take care of them a little.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have a great time.
because they're off, they get off the extra Isru Chag day, so that they can get there, and they have appointments to take them to, have to be a chauffeur and whatever, that's a day.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
All the best, Phil.
Shalom and Chag Sameach.
See you.
Sameach.
Some-
Enjoy.
All right, have a good day, Rabbi. Have a
All the
good-
best.
Alan,
Koyach.
Alan, don't expect me today.
No, okay.
Okay, we're